Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna play Tejo on Split. Today is day 52 of playing every agent on every map. I know my last Tejo video was pretty recently, but I've already found some new tech you can use in your games, even if in this close amount of time. Things you have probably never heard of and I haven't even used in game yet, but I think this can be used in some situations and it is pretty helpful as well. I like one more. At this point I want to remind you to like and sub to never miss a future upload, and to hit the same shots that I just did in your next game. Good luck and back to the video now. Could be under.
One enemy remaining.
Starting off with A side defense. If you want to do something aggressive on A side, you can tell your breach, if you have a breach in your team, to stand right here and then stun main as soon as he hears some steps. If he hears the steps, you can then use your mollies right here and right here and push with your teammates. With a molly right here, you deny them the angle close here, so if they run away towards this side, they're gonna take damage. If they run away towards the other side, right here, they're gonna be in the open and full stun, so a free kill for you. And if they are over here all the way in the back and then get stunned and try to escape in this corner, you're gonna do a lot of damage with a molly right here.
Missile deployed.
Another thing you can do in the beginning of the round is to break the cypher trip that is usually placed right here in main. You can do that by placing a molly right here and then your second molly right here to stop them from pushing out and destroy the cypher trip so your teammates can lurk, or you can lurk yourself if they are not coming A. Other options you have is to play here close and hold out a stun nade like this. If you hear a lot of steps, you can use that to stop them for a couple of seconds and then take the space here close. Or if you want to detain the cypher, there's usually a cypher playing a main, you can use your drone in the beginning of the round and detain him like this. Using your drone in the beginning of the round is in general not too good of an idea, so I'd recommend you keep that for a retake, but if you know the cypher is always in a main and you kind of want to punish that, you can use your drone right away. Other options you have is to just try peek, check if there's somebody close here, and then farm the orb. This is a pretty good thing because usually Tejo's ult is gonna be pretty hard to get, and by farming the A main orb, you're getting your ult economy up early in the round. Other things you can do is to play ramp, and then you use mollies like these, one close here and one close here, to push the people out into a bad fight against you, and you can then just get some free kills. Or you can wait close here. If you hear them satcheling or dashing up, you can use your stun with either one bounce or no bounce at all. You stun them as they're coming up, collect your free kills, and then go back. Other option you have is to just play retake and hold on to heaven by just holding from back here. This is a pretty safe hold spot. The enemies are just going to walk out here and it is pretty hard for them to get a good fight against you. You can then, as soon as you hear them planting, use mollies like these to get them off of the plant and do a lot of damage to them. Other things you can do with your mollies if you are on a retake are mollies right here and right here. Then get out here close and wait for the molly to pop and then take the backside area. It makes it pretty hard for the enemies to play somewhere close here, and in general these mollies are pretty good. Another one you can do is to just hold from back here, wait for them to come in, and then as soon as you have, for example, a cypher trip in main, as soon as the trip triggers, you trigger peek, stun, and then you use a molly right here and right here, push them into you, or push them out of the cubby area down here and do a lot of damage to them. In general, the best spots for mollies on this map are either here and here for a retake, because this spot right here is pretty hard to clear. Same thing with this corner right here, especially if you're coming from ramp. It is hard for you to clear those people out really easily, so with just standing right here, using mollies here close and here as you are coming in is a pretty good thing, because the people have to walk out and they're not going to be fully accurate and you can just hold them and do a lot of damage to those guys. Other things you can do on a retake is a drone either through main, clear out here close, clear out here close, check here really quick, and then run back in front and pop your drone. It is important that you pop your drone around right here, so you get all of the people that are playing close here as well. And the thing you need to check into main is because sometimes there's somebody waiting over here, and as soon as you went in here, they are gonna come behind you and get a free kill on you. The other drone you can use is one out of heaven by just going up here and then jumping it makes it pretty hard for the enemies to destroy that drone, and anyone that is not behind the screens area right here or behind here is gonna get detained, even the people that are playing close down here. If you don't even have heaven control, I recommend you use a drone from here, check the close corner here, and then jump up and pop your drone. Or you can jump up and walk even further, but with a jump up right here, it makes it pretty hard for the enemies to destroy the drone, because it pops up and is insta popped, so the enemies are gonna hear your drone, they're gonna expect you to be here, and then they have to flick up and insta destroy it, which is pretty hard. For ults you have a couple of options. One really good one is where you wait in the beginning of the round with, for example, a breach stun. As soon as you hear steps, you use an ult like this, then mollies here and here,
All missiles away.
to stop them from pushing out here. And everyone that is close here in main is gonna get hit by your ult, and they won't stand a chance, and you can get up to an ace with a ult like this. But you need to have a breach stun to help you out, else the enemies are just gonna run you over in main, so they're gonna run out here and then kill you. If you don't have a breach stun, I recommend to save your ult for the retake, and then use a ult either from here all the way over, or you can place it even farther behind to get a part of elbow 2. And to clear out all of my side. And then you can combine that with mollies here and here.
Missiles away.
Or even a molly in the copy down here to stop them from getting into elbow or playing down here. Or even if they run out of sight because of the ult, they're gonna get damage right here and you have a free time killing them. Another option for an ult is one like this, where you use your ult over the side like this, to just clear out one side. I don't really recommend this ult, but you can also use it to clear out the cubby part down here and the areas back here and behind the screen. Let's say you're playing mid. On mid you can use a stun like this in the beginning of the round, one bounce, or even aim a little higher to make it go even deeper. And anyone that is playing here is going to be full stunned, and this is really good for a push in the beginning of the round. You can also use mollies right here and right here
All missiles away.
to stop them from playing here close, and then you can just push this area right here if you want to push mid. But in general, I don't recommend pushing mid, and it is kind of obvious as soon as you use some of your util that you are pushing mid, so the enemies are going to be waiting in some really good off angles, and it is pretty hard for you to take mid. Another option you have to play mid is to use mollies right here and right here. There are a lot of steps. This makes it so the enemies either have to push in towards this area right here or have to walk back. And if they are walking back, you can just spray them in the back. Especially if there's a smoke right here, you can just shoot through the smoke and do a lot of damage to them. Another option you have is to clear out mail and the close area in front of you. The enemies have the option to go into this corner, however though, and it is a pretty safe spot for them to be here, and if you walk out after, they're gonna have a free time killing you, but this mollies are pretty good to stall out sometime. Other than that, the only thing I can say, if you want to get information over mid and your teammate has walled mid, you can jump on top of these boxes and then jump over to get information over mid. Other than that, there's not really much you can do on mid as a Tejo, so I'd recommend if you want to play mid, use your util on A and on B and just hold mid passively. So you play mid to get the ability to molly A and B at the same time. If you want to play B, which is in my opinion probably the weaker side for Tejo, so I'd recommend you play A. But if you still want to play B, you can wait back here. As soon as you hear them taking the orb in main, you can use mollies like these and then spray them because they have to walk back. Especially if you spray on this side, the enemies are most likely gonna walk towards this side and gonna take some damage. They're not gonna be walking over towards the other side, so you can do a lot of damage to them. Other options is to wait if they come out and have a stun ready either like this or like this. As soon as you see somebody, you go back, wait for the stun to pop and get your free kills. The other option is also to just stun main, then spam into the smoke to get a lot of damage off of the enemies. Something you can do on Tejo on B side, you can also do it on A, but it is not quite as good, is to jump up as at the same time you're throwing out your drone, and your drone is going to land on top of here, and you can scan all of the side. This also works, by the way, here on the screen, but it is a little hard, and you can also get sprayed through the boxes pretty easily. Same thing over here, but it is pretty unexpected.
Locating targets.
Switching over towards attack. Attack is where Tejo shines. Because with his drone, you can get some information
Drone
over
going up.
main and over ramp. You can check the close angles right here, and then either go up ramp and pop your drone, or you go towards main,
Locating targets.
check the close corners again, check close here, and then go towards site and pop it. They have a cipher on a site. It is really likely that you are going to find him, and you can detain him like this, and you have a free 10 taking site. But you can also do as an information thing is when you go right here, check the close corners here, and you see somebody close in this corner, you can pop your drone, and then use mollies to get him out of these corners and have your team hold him. You can also use a molly on ramp at the same time, so the people are not going to get peeked from ramp, and you can just hold him as he's trying to come out, and you can get a free kill. Same thing you can also do with a stun if you have used your mollies already, to just use a stun right here.
Ammunition.
Bounces in the close corner right here and stuns them fully, and you can get some free kills. Another thing you can do is to use a stun on ramp by just jiggling and then insta tapping
Grenade
the
is
stun.
live.
If you use it with one bounce, the person right here is going to get full stunned. This can also be used if you have a Raze in your team that is trying to satchel up towards ramps. Same thing also with a Chet or a Neon that can just dash up, and you yourself are going to be walking out like this
Grenade is live.
and stun that person, and your Neon, Chet, or whoever is going up ramp is gonna have a free kill on the person playing close here. Another thing that is also pretty strong is the ability to destroy cipher trips. For example, you know the enemy cipher has a trip close here and a trip somewhere on site, like for example here. You can use your mollies like this
All missiles away.
to destroy both cipher trips. Same thing also with killjoy mollies, vice util, or just any placeable util. You can destroy when you know exactly where he places it. You can use both of your mollies and destroy all of the enemy sentinel util. So, something you can use when you are not using your drone to take sight is something like this. I recently found this, and I don't know if it is a glitch or if it is supposed to be in the game, but I'm pretty sure it isn't supposed to be in the game. You can use your drone like this, stand at the wall, jump on top of yourself, and then try to jump. It is kind of glitchy and it works best in a corner. But if you jump at the right time and then pop your drone, you can look over the screen's area right here. Here I just got it. It is kind of hard to do, especially if you're standing at a wall like this, but it works best if you're standing in a corner, throw your drone out like this, jump up, and then you're in this glitched state on top of yourself. Then you just use the drone and it reveals up here, and it reveals anyone that is playing close behind it here as well, and the people that are playing somewhere in similar angles as well. I haven't really found a spot where this works reliably on any map, but it is just something you have to keep in your mind. If you are in a certain spot, you can use that to get information over the tall boxes, even though you are not supposed to be able to get there. You can also do the easier thing of just throwing your drone up by just jumping and then throwing your drone. You can get on top here and get even higher, but the other one is just a funny thing I found out while playing Tejo in a custom game. If you want to take Heaven as a Tejo, you can use two different mollies, either one right here and right here.
All missiles away.
To get all of the people out of vents, especially in this closed area and the area down here as well, because they're gonna take a lot of damage from these mollies. Or you can use your mollies back here and in the Heaven smoke right here
All missiles away.
to force the people of pushing out of CT or either going back, or the people in the Heaven smoke of going out towards site or going out towards Heaven, where you can just hold them and get some free kills. One thing that makes Tejo really strong is his ability to play post plant from almost whatever spot he wants to play at. After you have taken site with your first set of mollies, your mollies are on a 40-second delay, which makes for a pretty good post plant util, because the spike takes 40 seconds to explode. So if you have planted after you have used your mollies the first time, you are gonna have your mollies ready at about 30 seconds after the spike is planted, and you have the perfect stall util, so you can just use both of your mollies right here.
All missiles away.
And you can stall out the enemies for a really long amount of time after they have planted, or after your team has planted the spike and they're trying to defuse. This can also be combined with Tejo's ult if you don't want to use it on the side take, by just using it like this, or like this. If you have planted backside, you just use the ult as a post plant util. You can also use Tejo's ult really well on taking a site, especially on a site, by using it from main, going in this corner right here, and then using it like this,
This is how it ends.
and then combining that with a molly right here and right here,
All missiles away.
or a molly right here and close the
All
corner,
missiles away.
to make it impossible for the enemies to play on site, playing this
There.
close corner, or even just playing close here. They're gonna be in a pretty bad spot, and your teammate should be easily able to kill those guys. So a ult like
On my
this
mark.
through the side is a pretty strong thing you can do on Tejo on A site, on attack. Taking mid is a pretty simple thing you can do with the Tejo. You can use this
Locating
drone
target.
from either side, and then go up mid and reveal the people that are playing close in mid. If they
Drone
wall
going
mid
out.
with a Sage or a Deadlock, you can jump up here and get on top of these boxes and do the same thing as you did on defense and get information over mid. Or if the enemies are just not
Drone
playing mid
going
at
out.
all, you can also go in towards the heaven, check the close corners here, check close here, and pop your drone right here. Or if you get
Locating
even
target.
further, you can pop your drone out of heaven to get more information over site. But for that, you usually get close here, and I don't recommend going in this close corner because you
Drone
can
going
get
out.
breach aftershock pretty easily, or just clear that with a lot of util. If you manage to get this drone, however, you can walk all the way towards B side and reveal all of B side. Another thing you can
Drone
do is
going
also
out.
to reveal vents. Check close here, check close under here, and then jump up and get some information over the people that are playing close here. This is also pretty good to fake the enemies out. So for example, if you always go A and you're using your drone always as the first thing of entry, you can use that and one person going in as a really good fake, because the enemies are gonna rotate over because they see the Tejo util and some person walking in behind the Tejo util. So it is a pretty good fake, and the enemies are most likely gonna fall for it if you have hit A site a couple of rounds in a row and with the same exact setup. Good mollies for mid is one here in male to stop them from playing here close, and one either over here,
All missiles away.
because this one stops them from playing close here and the other one stops them from playing in this corner right here. This is especially good if you have the teammates walking up fast right here. If you want to take heaven right away in a really fast way with, for example, a neon or a race, I don't recommend these mollies because most of the times there's not going to be anyone playing close here in male. So I'd recommend using your mollies here in vents, so your enemies, so your teammates don't get insta flanked from behind,
All missiles away.
or using them even further up behind here and in under,
All missiles
so your
away.
teammates don't really have to clear those spaces out, and they can take site for free pretty much. Other really good mollies you can use in mid is one right here in vents itself, and in male
All
as
missiles away.
combined, stop them from playing in these close corners, or one close here if you don't have a smoke in here, which he can hide in, and one in vents
All missiles away.
to be able to take the vents area pretty easily, and then combine that with a stun like this, or a stun like this, or from this wall away.
Grenade is live.
Stun anyone that is playing close, or especially on top of these boxes, which is a pretty strong spot to hold mid from. Other options you have is to then go heaven and use your stun
Grenade is
close
live.
here on the box to stun anyone that is playing behind the box, because Tejo's stun goes through boxes, or do the same thing like this with a bounce stun off of this wall, or if you see somebody playing close here, you can use a stun here,
Ammunition.
or even close at the edge
Grenade
of
is
the
live.
thing right here to stun anyone that is playing close here and get a free kill on them or force them to go back. If you want to ult in mid, which I don't recommend at all, but if you want to do it, I'd recommend a ult through tower, which is probably the best value you can get out of your ult if you want to ult somewhere.
This is how it ends.
Other options are also a ult like this, which I don't think is the greatest one, but you can get some free kills on the people that are playing in vents, because they are gonna have a hard time getting out. Or you can also use the same ult the other way around, from over here.
This is how it
If you're
ends.
holding mid, you can push them in towards you and you can get some free kills. But in general, using your ult in mid is not the greatest thing you can do. Switching over towards B. On B, I also recommend
Locating
insta
targets.
droning main, clearing close, clearing the box behind here, and also clearing here, because this is a pretty good spot where people can get a lot of kills from. The other options you
Locating
have
targets.
is to get more information over heaven by jumping up here, up here, up here, and then popping your drone. It is a pretty fast thing you have to do, so you
Drone
have to
going
be familiar with the drone movement. You can also do it like this, and then jump up to get more information over the people, especially also the people that are playing backside right here from a really unexpected angle, because the drone pops around up here and it also detains them. The other option you have for a drone to get more main information is when you just go here,
Locating targets.
check close, and then go over towards here, backside, and pop your drone. This drone is pretty strong because it reveals the people that are playing under here, the people that are playing backside behind the pillar, and also the people that are coming out of CT are playing over here, holding main, and they're not going to be ready for your drone coming over to the other side if you have your teammates entering at the same time. Tejo's drone is also pretty strong at finding Cypher setups, because Cypher usually plays on B, and his drone is also a detain thing, so you can, or a suppress thing. When you get a Cypher, you suppress him and you turn off all of his trips and his cam, and you can get a free kill on him because you exactly know where he is at. Mollies you can use on B is one in under, which is a pretty strong one, and one backside.
All missiles away.
If you know people are like playing in these spots, or also over here and over here,
All missiles away.
to stop them from playing close or peeking out at the same time you are coming out, because not every time you have somebody playing back here. If you know they like playing here and then peeking out as you are coming out, mollies like these are pretty strong. Or other ones are ones in towards tower to stop them from playing there and holding you, and in towards CT,
All missiles away.
the same place where there's usually smokes, to stop them from peeking out of the smokes as soon as you're taking sight. The strongest thing about Tejo on B side is probably his ult. You can use his ult in this spot right here to get him out of all of the left side by just holding right here, waiting for your ult to pop, and pushing anyone that is playing close here in these corners or playing close here behind these boxes to get out. Or you can also use this ult like this,
This is how it ends.
go under and backside towards CT to clear them out of these annoying spots right here. What I've also seen in pro play is a ult like this one combined with a breach ult, which is a pretty strong thing,
This is how it
because
ends.
breach ult stuns them and throws them back, which is pretty annoying, especially if you want to run away from the Tejo ult, and you can get a lot of space like that through a ult like this. You can then combine that ult with mollies right here and right here
All missiles
to
away.
make it impossible for them to play towards the lower part of the site, or even if they are playing rafters, they're going to take a lot of damage from that ult. The stun is probably the hardest thing to use. I tried to find something with a bounce off of these signs right here, which is a pretty hard thing,
Ammunition.
because it is, first of all, it is pretty hard to hit those signs, and second of all, it usually bounces over here. So if you find anything that is useful, like a lineup with a Tejo stun, you can tell me that in the comments,
Grenade is
because
live.
I, for the love of it, couldn't find anything that works pretty easily. Stuns you can use, however, are ones like this,
Ammunition.
to stop them from peeking out here, or a stun like this where just
Grenade
trickle
is
peek
live.
it with a one bounce, make sure it lands like somewhere over here to stun those people playing close here, or even a stun at these
Ammunition.
boxes to stun anyone that is playing close behind it. Or one last one, which is pretty easy to use, to stun anyone that is playing in the lower area under heaven.
Ammunition.
One bounce,
Grenade is live.
and it lands down here and stuns anyone that
There.
is playing close here, and
There.
the players playing close there as well. You can then plant wherever you want. This right here is probably the best spot, and then you're gonna have your mollies again for the post plant. You can play in main, you can play in heaven, you can play almost everywhere. Use your mollies
All missiles away.
to stop them from defusing, and then you can get a free round like that because they are not able to defuse in time, and you can stall them out for a pretty long amount of time. If I had to give Tejo a rating from S to F on split, I'd actually only give him the A tier. He is pretty good in certain situations, but he isn't good in all of the situations. I think there's just better initiators on this map, for example a Sky, a Breach, or maybe even a Fate. But he is really good at getting information with his drone and to deny certain angles from the enemies with his mollies and his stun. If you want to see any other agents on any other map, write it down in the comments. And if you want to see anything else Valorant related, write it down there as well. That would be it from me. I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and see you guys very soon. Bye!